All right, Shalom, Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Yahweh the Baalski apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone who do well. Peace and salutations to the archangel doing the work of truth and sincerity, across the forward to the earth. This is the brother I'm one Ariala with the GMS Miami Herald camp. And today I just wanted to touch on the times that we're in now. Okay? When you read the book of Revelations, it goes into um, the beast, the beast, the image of the beast, and the mark of the beast, and these different things. And I just wanted to touch on that. Seeing as, we're in these times now. Okay, we're in the time where Esau Edom, okay, wants to bring out the MOTB. All right, he's ready to fulfill his enterprise. All right, and the job of a prophet is to warn the people before it actually happens. All right, so we can take the blood off our hands and also give the opportunity to save yourself. Well, not necessarily save yourself, but save yourself through believing in your house. Okay, so the book of Revelation 14 and 6, we can start there. Okay, it starts by saying, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, right, in the Shemayim. And how do angels fly? They chariot, having the everlasting gospel of preaching to them that dwell upon the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. All right, now this is not saying this is an invitation to the heathens for them to receive salvation. No, it's talking about Israelites that are scattered abroad, in every nation. Okay, and also, yeah, we are sent to preach to other nations too, to read them their judgment. Okay, because they did these things and have done these things to the children of Israel, they have become enemies of the Most High God, and for that there is a judgment. Okay, but it says in verse 7, saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High and give glory to Him, for the hour of His judgment is come, and worship Him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the foundation of water. So, Seven is giving you the understanding. Look, the judgment of the Lord is very close. The fear of the Lord, you should have that, right? Because when He comes, He's going to judge, with use of flame of fire. Matter of fact, let me see that. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, for behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, right? To render, which means what? To pay his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Okay, for by fire and by sword will the Lord plead or judge with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Okay, so this hasn't happened yet. This is yet to happen. Okay, so going on, verse 7 says, so fear the Most High, and give glory to Him, for the hour of judgment is coming. We just read the judgment, the flames of fury. All right, it's going to come in the form of thermonuclear missiles. All right, with different warheads, and also through the blasting and the tempest of the chariots, which this world knows to be as what? Laser beams. Okay, so that time is coming, and it says, worship Him that made the heaven and the earth and the sea and the fountains of the waters. That's what you need to be doing in these times, seeing that this judgment is about to come upon the earth. And in verse 8 it says, and there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen. Now this is the book of Revelation, the book of revealing. All right, John and the Isle of Patmos, by this time Egypt had already fallen from its once great state. It's not talking about ancient Egypt, this is talking about uh, future Egypt, which is America, aka Babylon, right, where we were held captive. We were made to serve our punishment. This is the place where the great deliverance is going to be, because we were scattered amongst other nations, right, to serve punishment for, disobeying the Heavenly Father. Okay, but that time is coming to an end. The Lord is about to bring judgment to these different nations because of what they've done to us. In Joel 3 and 2, if I'm not mistaken, all right, for touching of the apple of the Lord's eye. So there has to be a recompense for that. And that's what the Lord, in the scripture that we just read, Isaiah 6:15, He's going to render His anger with fury. Okay, so continuing on, it says, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because what? She made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of fornication. Right? She made all the nations believe in her um, religion, in her Christianity and her Catholicism. She made all nations to adopt her democracy, her policies. all right, her abominations, so her way of eating, all right, her dainties, her delicacies. She showed these nations that they do as thy will. All right, the nations that subscribe to these things are going to be having derision, okay, because they subscribe to a lifestyle or ideology that was not suited for them. All right, and that's why 2/3 of our own people got to perish too because they took on the same mindset of Esau, Edom. Like how it was back when we were in our homeland. You had the Grecians, right? The Greeks, which were Greek-speaking Israelites that kept the customs and the ways of the other nations. And then you had Jake that was in the land at that time. But in these times you have the elect, all right, and then you have the ones who don't want to turn back to Yahweh. They've drunken of the wine and the wrath of fornication, so therefore they gotta get that judgment. Verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, verse 10, the same shall what? Drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And this right here in verse 10 is talking about when America, aka Babylon, is destroyed. All right, we're going to be well, the elect are going to see the judgment of the wicked, right? America, aka Babylon, the place of our judgment, being burnt up while we're in the chariot. All right, and that firmament is going to make it look like a sea of glass. Okay, and we can go ahead and we can grab some precepts, but first let's tackle this right here. Okay, where it says, highlight verse 10, where it says in verse 9, and the third angel followed them with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or his hand. All right, now what is the beast? Okay, now we talk about the beast system. All right, that beast system is associated with the Roman Empire. And this goes back to the dream that Daniel had in the book of Daniel chapter 2, I think it was. Okay, all right, where Daniel has that dream. All right, so it's out here. All right, so let's go to Daniel 2 and 29. It says, and as for thee, O king, the thoughts came into my mind upon thy bed, what's to come to pass hereafter? And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known their interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Okay, so let me read that again, verse 30. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. Okay, the great image whose brightness was excellent stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, and his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part iron and part clay. Thou sawest till that stone was cut out with his hands, which uh, which smote the image upon his feet that were the iron and clay, and break them in pieces. So let's go back a little bit more. Okay, so we're on the right path. Okay, so Going back here, it says, Thou king saw and beheld a great image. This image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form was terrible. The image was of fine gold. So the first image of this statue that Nebuchadnezzar had in his dream was of gold, and that gold represented the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. Okay, which he was the ruler of. Okay, so then it goes down. All right, it says in his breast and his arms of silver. Okay, that silver represents the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, and then it goes on to say uh, his belly and his thighs of brass, and that brass represents the Greeks. All right, and last but not least, you have the iron and the feet of his legs of iron and his feet part of clay and iron. Now, the legs of iron represent the Roman Empire. Okay, but check this out. The feet also represents the other nations in which the new Roman or revised Roman Empire would be in league with. Okay, and iron and clay don't mix. Okay, and that stone, right? It says in the breastplate in his heart of silver, and his belly and his thighs of brass. Once again, that brass represents the Greek. The legs of iron represents the Roman Empire. His feet part iron and of clay, that represents the Roman Empire mixed with these other nations. In verse 34, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon the feet that were iron and clay, and break them into pieces. Now that stone represents who? That rock, what does that say? The stone represents, but that stone represents Yahweh Bas and Yahweh Shai. All right, the stone that was rejected. Okay, so right now where we're at within Nebuchadnezzar's dream is the legs. I'm sorry, Salakia. His feet part iron and part clay. This is where we're at, and these were different symbols or metaphors for different kings that would be ruling. All right, on the earth before the Lord came. And right now, once again, we're at the feet with the part iron and the part clay. And the only thing that's left is for Yahweh Shai to come and destroy that whole system, man, which is the beast system. All right. Now during this time, the Roman Empire, remember, was wounded and was supposed to be resurrected. Okay. So the Roman Empire, when it fell, all right, it was revamped through the well, it started during the time of the Renaissance, right? That's when the Roman Empire would come back again. Okay, it was through the Renaissance era. Okay, that's the revival of the Roman Empire, and that started back in Italy, Spain. Started with Italy, Spain, France, British America, and the small hatters. Okay, but then as the time progressed, you have now what is called the EU and the economic EU, which is the European Union, also the economic commerce, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but at the end of the day, that's what you're gonna call the beast system, America and the EU, which is America, which is the horse sits on top of the beast. Okay, EU and NATO, Salakia, almost forgot about NATO. Okay, EU and NATO. All right, these different organizations consist of the beast. The image of the beast, once again, is the ideology. All right, the mind, the thinking, the philosophy behind these different nations coming together. Okay, but then they're going to introduce a mark, right, which is going to be a symbol of the image of the beast. So if you believe in Esau's system, if you believe in the beast system, what you're going to do is you're going to partake. You're going to show your allegiance or your alliance by taking this mark. And it clearly says for those who do take this mark, and by the way, this mark is going to be in the form of a uh, uh, um, digital currency, which is going to be implanted on the chip, which will be implanted in your hand, right? Because it says in here, Revelation 14, it says in 9, it says, and the third angel followed him, or followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, right? Once again, the understanding of the beast is NATO in the EU. Okay, and the whore that sits on the beast is America. And his image, right, which is his ideology, his belief systems, his religion, his philosophies, and receive his mark, which is that digital all, which is going to be implanted in you in order for you to function in society. Verse 10 says, the same, these people shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High God. Right, you're going to partake in Esau's judgment. which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his what? Indignation, which goes into his righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? So let's get some precepts to back that up. All right, let's look at Revelation 15 and 2. Well, we start at verse 1. It says, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And that last 7th plague is talking about the 7 nuclear missiles, those warheads, man. 200,000, which equals to about 200 million warheads hitting this place, man. And they say that the heat that comes off of one thermonuclear missile nuclear warhead. Because one missile can carry about 40 warheads. And we'll see here, it says, at the moment of detonation, the center of a nuclear warhead can reach temperatures of roughly 100 million degrees Celsius. 100 million degrees, one warhead. And there's going to be, what, over 200 million warheads that hit this place? So naturally, with all that concentrated heat, this place is going to look like a lake of fire, man. Okay? Because within a few tenths of a minute of a second after detonation, the center of the warhead could reach a temperature of roughly 200 million degrees Fahrenheit. Man, that's a lot of heat. And that's why a lot of the later Lord, it says the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Melt with fervent heat. 2 Peter 3 and 10, it says that the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, right? Which is the sound of those warheads hitting the earth, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Woo! And the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Okay, 2 Peter 3 and 12. Looking forward and hastening unto the coming of day of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved. Right, because that's what happens when you launch a missile. So you get that mushroom cloud, and the elements shall melt, with fervent heat. Water is an element, air is an element, rocks are elements, gold, anything that exists here is made from some type of element. Everything here is going to burn. Okay? It says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and then they had gotten victory over the beast, over his image, and over his mark. The ones that had gotten victory, meaning the ones that did not take that mark. Okay? And then they had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having hearts of the Most High. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High God, and the Son of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Almighty, just and sure are thy ways, thou King of saints. You see? So this place is set to be destroyed, and the ones that take this mark, you're going to be destroyed along with it. Okay? It says in verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, any man with the works of the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall what? Drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture. You really want that fire? You really want that heat? All right, just so you can eat for the moment, or just so you can feel some type of comfortability or safety for the moment, not trusting in Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai. And now, and we're talking to the ones who know about the name, the fact that they're Israelites, and for the ones who refuse to believe that they are, this judgment is definitely for you. Okay, but when we bring these things out, it's so that the ones who do believe, they can understand the severity of not falling out and not believing. And the ones who don't believe just yet, you're hearing this, this message. Lord willing, hey, the fear of the Lord will cause you to come back and serve the Lord. And mind you, this message is only for the Israelites, which consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And naturally, we do have foreigners, Israelite foreigners that live like other nations that are also here in Babylon, but ultimately they belong to one of these different tribes, right? But Um, yeah, man. Look, Yahweh outside is coming to destroy this place. For those of y'all that take this mark, you're gonna be destroyed along with it, man. All right, and you're not gonna be resurrected until those 1,000 years, and so on and so forth. Okay, now, you're not gonna come back to that second resurrection. All right, to the seed and the loins of the elect, the ones who did make it. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. Definitely give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh outside. By Hashem,